Hello everyone, today I'm gonna explore the greenhouse gas emission in the world and in time. So first I will do a little introduction where I will define greenhouse gas emission and I will say what are the primary gas. In my first part I will speak about greenhouse gas emission in terms of data and in time. And in my second part, we will see who are the bad guys and why, if there is an explanation. So let's start. So let's define greenhouse gas. So a greenhouse gas is a gas that absorbs infrared radiation and so cause greenhouse effect. The main gases are carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, and nitrous oxide. The most dangerous one is CO2 because it is mainly caused by the human activity and is a primary cause to global warming. So, in my first part, what we can say is that CO2 from the industrial revolution period have almost doubled. So in 1750, in terms of ppm, there were 280 ppm, when in 2021 there is about 419 ppm. So in more precisely, it took at first 200 years to gain 30 ppm, and then it took only 56 years to take 19 ppm. And what we can say is that from 2014 and nowadays we took about 20 ppm. So we took 20 ppm in 7 years. So I will look at this a bit fast, but what is interesting to see on this graph is the part of CO2 in the global warming, so 66%, the increase in the different gases. I'm not gonna speak a lot about other gases like methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapor because they are more natural and so they are more likely to be eliminated during the process. So, and on this graph, what is interesting to see is the part or the increase in CO2 emission that since 1950 have almost done by 6, so from 6 to 36, and the main polluting countries, United States, China, etc. And when? So we can say that USA and Europe were already polluting in 1950 because of revolution, and China only started in the early century in the 1980. So my second part is about who are the bad guys, who is the bad guys, and why. So the bad guys in terms of emission, the most polluting country is, by the way, China, because they are producing and consuming the most, and because they are mainly based on the oil consuming, oil and coal consuming. So they emit over 14 gigatons of greenhouse gas in 2019. But per capita, they are way lower than developed country and oil producing country. In fact, if we compare with one oil producing country like Qatar, we can see that per capita Qatar is emitting 5 times more, 4 to 5 times more, depending the database, than China. But why? Why China is a bad guy? First, we have to compare the production. So as China is now the most producing country and everyone is exporting and importing from China, like all Western countries have some industries that are working in China, are producing in China because of the cut cost. Then there is a difference between developed and developing country, as we see on the graph. The first one, this one, sorry. We can see that developed countries have already started to pollute in the early 1950, when China only start in the 40 next years. What we can see also on this graph is per capita, the most polluting countries are not considering all producing countries, are Australia, USA, Canada. So, but why? So Canada, we need to take into account in Canada, for example, or in Russia, the coldest of the country. Because they have to warm up to live, they need more energy. So now let's conclude. So in conclusion, what we can say is that human activity have and is causing greenhouse gas emission to increase, and so greenhouse effect and impact on the environment. But what will happen when we will reach the 2 degrees Celsius limits? What will be the impact on the human lifestyle and the environmental impact? Thanks for listening to me, and have a nice day.